My name Agung. I'm from Undergroundsync.
Oh, cool.
Streaming radio. And actually, I'm your street team from Indonesia. Your suicidal tendencies. Okay. I'm start the point. Your new album, 13. What is really basically behind the story of you making the 13 album?
Basically, we wanted to make a record that we thought was great. You know, a lot of times people try to make it a certain style, try to, say it's punk, metal, thrash, crossover, this or that. We basically want to do a record that we thought that is a great record that'll still, years from now, will still be sound good and fresh. Like our first record's been out for 30 years now and stuff, so we want to do a record that we thought is something that if we went back in time when we were young, we'd listen to it and go, whoa, this is great, and something that we're proud of and happy for.
Okay, because you already said that you already 30 years and you've been there in this music from 3 decades. What is your recipe for all the band from the underground until becoming some mainstream? And what is your recipe for being constantly as a band? Because many of the band is being lost. Like I use it now, eccentric is maybe I didn't see that they already playing again.
I think for us, one of the things we try to do is keep it from getting too stale, and we always try to be able to go to new places. It's been 30 years, but we're finally here. We just played in Mexico, some festivals for the first time. We go to Europe, there's some places that we've never played before also, and a lot of Eastern European countries, and ones that we're going back to. So it's always trying to make it, take advantage of every opportunity and be excited about what you're doing, and appreciate it. And so it's a great opportunity and a lot of fun rather than just being like just everything, just another show. So that keeps it exciting.
Do you know that in here many of fans for you, because you are influenced the skater punk here and many other people in here punk especially. And then what is your show in here? Because you will be seen by new generation. Maybe I'm from 90s. I know your music from my high school, but what you expect to the new generation? What they want? What do you want to understand your music?
Well, I think being in a festival like this is a great opportunity because, like you said, there's a lot of people that have waited a long time to see us, so they're excited. They know the music, and then we get to play in front of a lot of people that never heard us before. That if we just came here and did our own show, they never would have heard us. So I think it's a great opportunity for us because they're going to sit there and like I say, we're going to start and a lot of people are going to go. Like that.
But before that, do you hear about Indonesian gigs, Indonesian scene? Do you know?
Yeah, I've heard from some of my friends because when you're going there, then they ask where you're going and they say, oh, they were just there and this and that from the different bands and stuff, from Robert and from Metallica to some of the smaller bands and stuff. And so everything's different, and we always know it's different because there'll be different countries that will play and they'll be completely different too. So, but like we said, we're sure and I've been here 3 days and met a lot of people, and there's a lot of people real excited. I think there'll be a lot of good energy, and like you said, for the people that are younger, I think that this is going to give an opportunity to see Suicidal. And when we come back, a lot of those people will be the same way as like you were when you were in high school and stuff.
See the icon and the legend. Thank you.
Okay, Suicidal Tendencies. I'm from Sona Magazine, it's music magazine. Okay, speaking of your album, how about Mike Clark? And he just recorded for 4 songs in the album. It's just out temporary or permanently?
It's permanent. He's doing his own band. He was in a band called No Mercy years ago before he got into Suicidal, and eventually I ended up singing on the one CD that they did, record that they did. And he wanted to go back. He's always wanted to do another No Mercy record. He's always asked me, and just haven't had time or that. And so originally he was going to sing, and now he gave an opportunity that he can sing, play guitar, and also play lead guitar, which he didn't have a chance to do in Suicidal. So the band, the name No Mercy was trademarked by the Wrestling Federation, so he couldn't use it. Yeah, he couldn't use the name, so he's using the name Waking the Dead, which is a No Mercy song that Suicidal actually did a song to. And so we just toured to the States, and he opened up for us, and so it's a good opportunity for him to go out and play guitar, lead guitar, and sing and stuff. So we're excited for him.
And the new album is 13. Why? I think for the previous album, 2010. Why is it gap 3 years after 2010?
Because in 2010 he was only 6 years old, so his mom wasn't ready for him to start touring.
Yeah, she said no.
Yeah, she said no. He's got to finish first grade before he starts touring.
That's pretty much the truth. Yeah.
Come on. Top it up. That's what we pay you for. Clap.
Where's the guy who just got land?
Yeah.
9.8. We got
No, there's a couple things. I had a few back surgeries, and there's a lot of things that just what we call life, where you sit there and you put things off. Music is not more important, and then we had our own studio, so we ended up recording a lot of music, and we love music, we love recording music, but we didn't sit there and go, here, this is a Suicidal song, so we recorded, 160, 70 songs.
Was it that many?
There's
so much trash.
And so then at the end, we just basically, I had back surgery in 2005, and probably thought that was it. Got a call to do a festival in Australia, and I was living in Australia at the time, and my family said, my youngest son, my oldest son, was my oldest son then, never saw us. I thought that would be cool, and my family in Australia never saw us, and everybody said, we feel all right. And so we did that festival, and they got calls to do other things, and they said, we'll take it slowly and surely. And then we didn't want to put out a record right afterwards, and people think that, they're just putting a record out before they fall apart kind of thing. So we've been touring around the world, and just getting to the point that we recorded a lot of songs that we really liked and tried to narrow it down, and then go out there and play them.
How do you think music, Suicidal Tendencies music is the most biggest fans of US or Europe, especially in Asia maybe? Can you explain?
Everywhere's different, there's a lot of things in where your exposure is and stuff, and I think one of the good things for Suicidal is that we have such a diverse audience. There's a skater, my brother was a pro skateboarder, so I was a little kid that used to hang out with them, and that was a big thing, but just a lot of skaters, punks, metal people, crossover, which didn't exist before we started, and just a lot of different types of people. So when you, especially in a lot of places in the States, you see a really diverse crowd, whereas maybe some other bands, it's a very one style of people. They all look the same. And with Suicidal, you get a lot of different types of people, and I think that's great. That makes it better.
And the new album is 13. Look the catalog Suicidal Tendencies. It's not album of 13. Why you name the 13?
Well, it actually is the 13th. If you take in all the compilation and stuff, it's the 13th record. There's 13 songs. It's been 13 years since we did a record. So, and 13's always been kind of like my lucky number. I think for a lot of other people, they take it as a bad number. I noticed in the elevator here, there's no 13th floor. And we just played in Japan, and in Japan, they don't have a fourth floor. They skip it. I think it's fourth floor they skip it. Yeah. And so everywhere has a number that's bad, and if you went to an international hotel, there'd be no floors because they get bad. So we always try to say, when I played sports, I always wanted to pick 13, and I think you don't give power to the things that you shouldn't give power to, and to me, 13 is just a number.
Yeah. It's an awesome number. One of my favorites.
He was born on the 13th, so yeah.
His favorite number, Mr. Number.
Right.
And then in the Suicidal Tendencies catalog album, which one you proud in your album and represent your music in the all album?
I think obviously the new one, 13, does, and then before that, I think to me, I look at a record as kind of like a book. Some people, all the records kind of sound the same, but it's kind of like having a book and you read chapter 1. Chapter 2's got to be different than chapter 1. Otherwise, in chapter 3's got to be different. Otherwise, it's not a very interesting book. So I think with Suicidal, we've always tried to have each record sound different and be something unique and so exciting and new, you know, rather than just kind of like the same old.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very well.
Thank you.
I have some gift from
Oh.
Undergroundsync. Only one.
All right.
Not one.
Extra small, liquid.
Let me get mine.
$10.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Guys, after this we have the last one.
Okay.
Okay?
No problem.
It's from MNC channel. Channel Music TV Indonesia.
All right. Thank you.
It's
Take a sticker.
from-
Oh, yeah.